Hello, everyone. My name is Denny Collins, and I am a technical sales representative for SKC, headquartered in 84, Pennsylvania. SKC would like to sincerely thank you all for joining this webinar. We're trying to do our part in working together when and wherever possible to get through these different and difficult times with you. This is the next in a series of webinars with just one way for both of us to stay as productive as possible, so that when we get back to our regular new normal, we'll be even better prepared than before. So again, thank you. We'll be continuing these webinars in the weeks and months ahead, so please stay tuned for more of these learning seminars and product introduction sessions. As a quick format note, during this presentation, please feel free to send any questions through the chat. Then, along with the help of our team of panelists that are listening in as well, we will attempt to answer all these questions if we have time. If we don't have time, we will be sure to get these answered and back to you with a follow-up message. One more quick note. I realize that many internet service providers are having struggles with the current change in internet usage. So if something should happen during the presentation and we are unable to continue, we will get you a copy of the presentation in some format that we hope will be useful to you. Our goal through these webinars is to show you essential, valuable tools, keep you updated in changes to the industry, or introduce you to new products that you may not be aware of today. I'll be talking about and discussing the AirChek Connect today with its counterparts, the AirChek Essential and the AirChek Touch. This exciting new product further enhances the offerings from SKC in the AirChek line of products. I will cover key and physical features, basic operation, calibration, and the Bluetooth connectivity. Lastly, I will talk about kits that we are offering and then get into some questions and answers. We have slotted 30 minutes for this presentation to include some time at the end for your questions and answers. Please know that if we do not have time to answer your specific question, we will get back to you via email from your registration. As a quick review, SKC has been manufacturing pumps for many years. Pumps that were large, bulky, and very heavy have given way to our lighter and more powerful pumps with long-lasting lithium-ion batteries. We introduced the AirChek Touch around 2015. It was the first pump on the market to have a color touch screen. With its powerful and reliable battery along with the ease of use, it quickly became a top seller in the SKC line of pumps. Speaking of ease of use, we made it so simple that there is no need to read a manual. We will still send one to you if you need to. Next, if you attended earlier this summer, we did a webinar that introduced the next in the line of touch pumps, the AirChek Essential. This is a lower cost alternative to the AirChek Touch with very basic operation. In keeping with the same powerful battery, we designed this pump with no preset sampling options, software downloads, and no color screen. You simply set your flow and go start sampling. This pump with its powerful pump and battery is a great value for those of you that need a no-frills pump. Now we are very pleased to introduce to you the new AirChek Connect. Barring from the many enhanced features from the Touch and Essential, it has many of the same features that these two pumps have, but we added a new user interface that will allow for connectivity to your Bluetooth devices and downloads to our DataTrak Pro Software. For those of you that attended our webinar earlier this year or have used our low-flow pocket pump Touch, the user interface will be familiar to you. The design of the touchscreen and operation of the pump is very similar, if not identical, on the new AirChek Connect. As you can see, the features and specifications on this slide, there are many great features. I'm not going to go through these items one by one, but you can look through all these features and see that the pump is extremely powerful. With the battery for great run times and the correction of temperature and pressure built in, and intrinsic safety approvals, the biggest additions to the previous pumps are the Bluetooth connectivity and the ability to do low-flow sampling without the need for a CPC or all-in-one tube holder in some instances. Here are the physical characteristics of the pump. You can see the front and side views of the outside. On the top of the pump, the protective screen cover is added for security and protection. You can also see the pump inlet and filter housing, the belt clip, and charging contacts. For reference, if you're looking directly at the front of the pump, the on-off button is recessed on the left side as depicted here. The recessed button, which is low profile, assists in preventing accidental powering on or off, and it helps in the prevention of maintenance costs due to breakage from bumping up against things during standard work functions. It is a multifunction button that turns the pump on or off and can be used to lock the screen during a sample, which prevents accidental actions on the pump while it is running. These are the same features that are on the AirChek Touch and Essential pumps. For those of you that already own or have used the Touch or Essential pumps, the charging cradles and power supplies are the exact same for the Connect, Touch, and Essential pumps. Therefore, if you need to add pumps to your arsenal of sampling equipment, you are already familiar with the charging routines. The batteries are fast charging and the cradles have LEDs to indicate charging status. A steady red LED indicates a charge is in progress. A red LED for 3 seconds and a green LED for 1 second indicate a 75% charge. A steady green LED, the charging cycle is complete and a trickle charge mode is on. Depending on which screen of operation you are in, the on-screen buttons 1 through 4 will be labeled different, as you will see in the next few slides. These 4 buttons labeled on-screen buttons 1 through 4 on the actual screen part of the display. The 4 icons with the arrows and dashed lines are right below the screen. All are sensitive to the touch. There are also 4 touch points on their display, as you can see here. Starting left to right, the first key, or the swoosh button, returns you to the previous screen when you're in a menu. The up and down arrow keys will increase or decrease the increments depending on what mode of operation you're in. And the last icon, sometimes called a hamburger icon, will return your display to the main menu. So anytime you're stuck or lost, if you hit that key, it'll take you back to the main menu. So now let's get into some basic operation of the pump. Obviously, the first thing you have to do is turn the unit on. To turn it on, you press the reset on-off button on the left side of the housing. You'll see the main menu appear on the device. As you can see, 3 of the 4 touch points now say Info, Device, and Sample. The 4th touch point, which would be right here, is now not disabled. By tapping on the display of the main menu, the display will show you pertinent information about your device, such as device serial number, version of the firmware, and date and time. So you would press Info from the main menu, and then the info for your pump would show up on the next screen. The next few slides series will show you some of the features on the device tab setting. So from the main menu, you would tap the device tab. In this setting, you can review history, set the internal clock, set up the auto lock on the device by using the menus in the screen tab, and choose your settings. For this demonstration, we will review history and clock settings. Just realize that this is also where the settings for locking the device is honed. While in the device menu, remember to get there, tap the device tab from the main menu. Again, if you ever get confused, tapping the hamburger icon on the bottom right of the keypad will get you back to the main menu. Tap the History tab as highlighted in the top screenshot. From this History tab, the device will list all the sample data stored in the device. Using the up and down buttons, you can select a specific sample to review on the device. In the screenshot, you can see that the sample summary included detailed information such as runtime, flow, total volume, and several other specifics, temperature included. While still in the device menu, selecting the clock tab allows you to set the internal clock on your pump and select the date and time format, as you can see depicted here. In the next series of screenshots, we'll show the sequence for setting your flow rate. To do the pump flow adjustment, touch the on-screen button Sample from the main menu. Then touch Flow, as highlighted here. Determine what flow you want to set by touching the flow display key. In this case, it's set at 2.5 liters a minute. Using the left or right arrow keys that show on the next screen, you can move the flow settings by 0.5 liters a minute, or you can fine-tune those by pressing the up or down arrow keys. So for example, if you wanted to get to 2.53, you would use the arrow keys to scroll those up and down. Once you have reached your desired flow, touch the check mark and accept to return to the flow menu. Before we actually do a calibration, it's always a good idea to set up your calibration process. You should have a sampling train properly assembled and connected to the inlet of the pump and to the outlet of the flow meter or calibrator as shown here. After connecting your sampling train, from the main menu, again, to get back to the main menu, you can touch the hamburger icon and touch Sample, then Flow, and then the special icon that stands for Calibration has a plus sign surrounded by some other little icons there. Once you press that button, the pump will start running when you touch this icon. Touch the up and down arrow buttons to adjust your flow. And calibration adjustment value will be displayed here. Please note that the flow rate displayed on the calibrator will change as a result of these adjustments. Press the check mark when the calibrator shows the correct flow desired. You're now ready to go out to your site and start your sampling. Please note there are other features that I did not include in this presentation due to time considerations, but I did not want to continue without making you aware of a couple of these. One of these is the ability to sample in constant pressure and the ability to set up 4 different preset parameters to quickly choose from if you have the same sampling needs every time. Now onto a new exciting feature. This is great for time savings and unobstructed sampling. From your smartphone or other mobile device, whether it be Apple iOS or Android, find the SKC Smartwave and download this free app. Open the app and turn on the pump or pumps you wish to control. Scan for the pumps on your mobile device by pressing the Scan for Pumps key. It will list all the pumps within range. In this case, it was pump with serial number 201077. If you had more pumps in range, they would all be listed here, and you could simply choose which one you would like to control at that time. The next screen over, if you hit the Run button, your pump will start, and it will show you what mode it is in and what the flow rate is. While it's running, you can look at your specific data that you want to see. Runtime, flow, accumulated volume, pressure, average, temperature, all that stuff is shown there. You can then pause it or stop your sample. You can also download all your data via Bluetooth to your computer and use the DataTrak Pro software to review all your sampling specifics. The DataTrak Pro enhances usability and convenience of our pump. Please note that a cradle is not used for connecting your pump to the DataTrak Pro software. This connection is accomplished with a Bluetooth dongle accessory that is inserted into a USB port on your computer. That's like configuring multiple pumps, uploading preset program runs into the pump, and downloading, viewing, and exporting sampling history is done through the DataTrak software. Next, here's a list of the configurations of the pumps. If you received the 2020 SKC catalog, the pricing for the Connect pump kits has been updated. The pricing for the kits in the catalog are listed higher than the actual price. We have made a change to reflect the new pricing. Please contact SKC or your regional technical sales representative for more information. To make it a little bit easier, here's a selection guide listing all the features of the Touch series pumps. As you can see, the Connect has all the features of the AirChek Touch and the AirChek Essential with the added ability to use Bluetooth control via a mobile app. For those of you that cannot use Bluetooth in your locations but need to have data logging capabilities, we would suggest the AirChek Touch for that scenario. For a basic pump with start and stop, the Essential will fit your needs. As you can see, with this group of pumps, SKC can fill your needs for a sampling pump up to 5 liters a minute with multiple choices. Contact us if you need assistance. Please do not forget about our Checkmate calibrator. We have 3 versions of the Checkmate, all now available. High flow model has a range from 5 to 30 liters per minute, the medium flow with a range of 0.5 to 5 liters per minute, and the low flow range from 20 to 500 milliliters per minute. It is extremely lightweight at 8.3 ounces and can operate in any orientation, and for an estimated 30 hours of runtime on one 9-volt battery. All of this and is still roughly half the price of the competition. If you have not seen this unit or used it to perform a pump calibration, please contact SKC or your local representative for more information. I will leave the screen up for just a few seconds so that you write down your appropriate representative in case you don't know him or her. Here is a quick listing of the outside technical sales representatives. Please contact any of us for questions or help with your SKC sampling solutions. The year 2020 has certainly been a challenging year for all of you and SKC as well. What started out as an extremely exciting year was quickly doused with fear and uncertainty of the global pandemic. Please know that SKC is extremely pleased to be able to provide you with these continuing webinars so that when this pandemic is finally over and we can return to our new normal, we will be here to assist you in your sampling needs. When I say that SKC was extremely excited for 2020, we had been planning to unveil several new products during AIHCE in Atlanta, but as you now know, was canceled due to the unnerving time. We've introduced 2 new sampling pumps, the AirChek Essential and now the AirChek Connect pump, a brand new SKC noise dosimeter, the Noise Check, SKC branded sound level meters. Please stay tuned for upcoming webinars on those, along with the acquisition of CLI products. We're excited to be part of your present and future sampling solutions at SKC. Thank you for your time today, and please stay safe. I will now open it up to Chuck Knockreiner for any questions that may have come up.
Thank you, Danny. That was a great presentation on the on our new SKC Connect pump. We did have a couple questions. First question is the durability of that pump. And do we have any information on durability? I'm going to go ahead and take that question.
Okay.
Durability, in terms of that case is the same case as the AirChek Touch pump. And for those of you who have not seen our video dropping that pump out of our 2nd story research building onto concrete, the pump did not break. There was a scratch on the bottom half of the pump. Very pleased for that, and that's because of the overmolding of that case, the type of plastic that we're using, that case didn't crack. The other thing that I think is a little unique about this pump is that with this pump relative to the Touch, so it's this pump and the Essential, we've redesigned the internals, the pneumatic stack of this pump, and this pump is a little bit more efficient than the Touch pump. So therefore, what you're going to get is longer battery times and higher back pressures. So we feel really, really, really good about this pump, thinking that it's going to be a good pump for our customers as we move forward in the future. Second question. There was also a question about explain a little bit more about the constant pressure and constant flow modes of this pump. I'll go ahead and take that one too. So constant flow is typically the way people run pumps above 500 mils a minute. And typically when you're above 500 mils a minute, you are sampling with a filter cassette. In theory, as you add particulate to the face of that filter cassette, you're adding back pressure. That pump needs to compensate for that. So it is a constant flow pump, and the pump needs to compensate within 5%, because we guarantee 5% compensation range within the pump at any given flow of the flow range, and within specified back pressure ranges. So the difference between the other pumps that we make and this pump is this pump has the same interface as the Pocket Pump Touch. And as those of you who have used the Pocket Pump Touch know, the Pocket Pump Touch has a constant pressure mode to it. And so what you could do with the constant pressure mode is one of two things. For those times that you need to run more than one tube at a time, we recommend that you use constant pressure. You can do that by either adding a CPC, a constant pressure controller, to it, or you can put this pump in constant pressure mode and use it with an all-in-one or a dual or tri or quad low flow holder. And then you just set the pressure that you need it to be set to, and you make your flow adjustments on the ports of the individual flow holder itself. The other area, which is quite interesting, is we've had a situation come up over this past week where a gentleman wanted to use this as a soil vapor sampler, and he was concerned that inside that pit that he could have various back pressures. They'd be steady, constant back pressures, but they would vary from one pit to the next. So he wanted to compensate up to 50 inches. So what we did is we made a special all-in-one to compensate the 50 inches, and we set this pump in constant pressure mode, so he can then take it from air sampling pit to air sampling pit to be able to use and not have a problem with different pressures relative to the soil makeup within that hole. So that just gives you a couple ways that you could use this. So this pump gives us some flexibility in terms of the way it's used. It also gives us some flexibility in terms of whether you're running it in constant flow or constant pressure. So let me just check here to see if we have any other questions. No, we don't. So Denny, once again, I'd like to thank you in terms of making this great presentation on our new Connect pump. I would encourage you, customers, to take a look at this, call your sales rep, give us a call in terms of the flexibility of this pump and what it can do. And stay safe, and we look forward to talking to you and doing business with you in the future. Denny, do you have any other comments?
No, I just want to thank everyone for their interest and their attendance. Thanks again.
Thank you.